வருவாய் வருவாய் குருநாதா, வந்தருள் புரிவாய் குருநாதா, அனுதினம் வருவாய் குருநாதா, அனுகிரகம் செய்வாய் குருநாதா. மாதா பிதா குரு நீதானே, மன கவலையை தீர்ப்பதும் நீதானே, மன மகிழ்ச்சி அளிப்பதும் நீதானே, சர்வமங்களமூர்த்தியும் நீதானே. வருவாய் வருவாய் குருநாதா, வந்தருள் புரிவாய் குருநாதா. ஸ்ரீ குருதேவ ஜெய குருதேவ, ஸ்ரீ குருதேவ ஜெய குருதேவ, ஸ்ரீ குருதேவ ஜெய குருதேவ. ಭಜಿಸದಿರುವೆ ಗುರುನಾಥನಾನಿ, ತ್ಯಜಿಸದೆ ಎರಡೆಂಬ ಮಾತನಾನಿ, ಭಜಿಸದಿರುವೆ ಗುರುನಾಥನ. ಹಿಂದು ಮುಂದು ಕಾಣದಂತೆ ಬಂಧವನ ಬಿಡಿಸಿ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದವ ತೊರಿದ ನಿಜದಾತನಾನಿ, ಭಜಿಸದಿರುವೆ ಗುರುನಾಥನಾನಿ, ತ್ಯಜಿಸದೆ ಎರಡೆಂಬ ಮಾತನಾನಿ, ಭಜಿಸದಿರುವೆ ಗುರುನಾಥನಾನಿ, ತ್ಯಜಿಸದೆ ಎರಡೆಂಬ ಮಾತನಾ. ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುದೇವ ಜಯ ಗುರುದೇವ, ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುದೇವ ಜಯ ಗುರುದೇವ, ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುದೇವ ಜಯ ಗುರುದೇವ. मैंने सतगुरु दर्शन पायो रे, मारे मन मंदिर में पधार्यो रे. काम क्रोध के अवगुण छोड्या, भगत प्रेम की चूनर ओड्या. होया के चरणों में बलिहारी रे, गुरु चरणों में सब हारी रे. मैंने सतगुरु दर्शन पायो रे, मारे मन मंदिर में पधार्यो रे. श्री गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव, श्री गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव, श्री गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव. నా హృదయంలో ఉదయించిన ప్రథమ సూర్యకిరణం, గురుకృపతో పొందింది నవజీవన సాధనం. గురు జ్ఞానం గురు గంగా గురువు పరమ పావనం, గురురాజుల మహిమనే శిష్య హృదయ శాసనం. నా హృదయంలో ఉదయించిన ప్రథమ సూర్యకిరణం, గురుకృపతో పొందింది నవజీవన సాధనం. గురు కరుణామయుడు, గురు సాక్షాత్ దైవము, గురు లేక జ్ఞానం లేదు మోక్ష మార్గము. నా హృదయంలో ఉదయించిన ప్రథమ సూర్యకిరణం, గురు కృపతో పొందింది నవజీవన సాధనం. శ్రీ గురుదేవ జయ గురుదేవ, శ్రీ గురుదేవ జయ గురుదేవ, శ్రీ గురుదేవ జయ గురుదేవ. गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने, गुरुदेव तापसिहारक हे गुरुपाये भवसिन्धो 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 सीतारक हे गुरुपाये श्री गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव श्री गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव श्री गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव शरणं शरणं गुरुनाथा सद्गुरुनाथा आदिशङ्कर शरणं शरणं गुरुनाथा तुणयेक वरमेक शरणं शरणं गुरुनाथा तुन्बङ्गळ तीर्थरुळु शरणं शरणं गुरुनाथा जपमलरिल नीनिरयु शरणं शरणं गुरुनाथा सद्गुरुनाथा आदिशङ्कर शरणं शरणं गुरुनाथा श्री गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव श्री गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव श्री गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव गुरुबिन ज्ञान न उपजे बंधु गुरुबिन मिले न मोक्ष गुरुबिन लिखे न सत्य को और गुरुबिन मिटे न दोष ये तन विष की बेलरी और गुरु अमृत की खान शीश दिए जो गुरु मिले तो भी सस्ता जान इनका भेद बता मेरे अवधू अच्छी करनी कर ले तू डाली फूल जगत के माली जहाँ देख वहाँ तू का तू हे जहाँ देख वहाँ तू का तू श्री गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव श्री गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव श्री गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव I awake in thy light, I am joyful, I am free. I awake in thy light, I am joyful, I am free. I awake in thy light, I am joyful, I am free. In thy light I awake, I am joyful, I am free. I will sing thy name, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. I will sing thy name, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Shri Gurudev Jaya Gurudev Shri Gurudev Jaya Gurudev Shri Gurudev Jaya Gurudev Guru Mahima Apara Mahima Guru Mahima Kimbachaniyam Guru Mahima Bhimavachaniyam Guru Mahima Ajnananashaka Sujnana Poshaka Prajna Prabodhaka Guru Mahima Guru Mahima Guru Mahima Apara Mahima Guru Mahima Guru Mahima Guru Mahima Apara Mahima Guru Mahima Shri Gurudev Jai Gurudev 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 Shri Gurudev Jai Gurudev
Good evening, everybody. We will start off now. Om Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam yena characharam Tatpadam darshitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good evening to all of you who are here this evening to participate in the Mandala Satsungh, which also marks the beginning of Mandala Festival 2021. I am Anvita and I am going to be your host for the Mandala Festival. I feel delighted to be sharing this space with each of you here. Mandalas have been very special to me. It has been an integral part of my expansion and growth. And today, I'm extremely happy and extremely delighted to be growing, sharing, and learning with each of you present here. The Mandala Festival is a channel that opened up in the year 2016 towards quenching the curiosity as to what mandalas were in the year 2015. It started off as a WhatsApp group where 150 people gathered together to draw one mandala a day for 15 days and shared their thoughts on what it meant and their perceptions on the mandala. In 2018, it turned into a very powerful manifestation and it happened at an auditorium in Coimbatore. In 2020, as the whole world emoted to a virtual platform, the Mandala Festival still served its purpose on a virtual platform as well. It is a satsang where people gather to share joy, to seek truth, and to reiterate and sense the essence of Mandala and togetherness. Speakers and performers who have expertise in different genres and subjects of life share their ideologies, experiences, and knowledge through this platform. One of the main objectives of the festival is to bring to visibility the mandalas that different people create, maintain, and navigate through. We have presentations, performances, exhibitions, and all facilitated programs on mandalas and an expedition too this year. Mandala Festival 2021 is a culmination of a lot of events, interviews, panel discussions, mandala exhibition, and a gathering at Pavithram and a virtual event on 10th October in the evening. As the festival has grown and evolved as a mandala itself, the essence of learning and growing through harmony and togetherness has stayed intact. It brings me immense joy to welcome each of you to be a significant part of this space. Mandala Festival is held by Pavithram. So, for those of you who do not know what Pavithram is, Pavithram was started in the year 2015 with the intention to support and help individuals by imparting progressive therapies and therapies based on individuation and universalization. Pavithram is the space that conducts Mandala Festival every year. It is a space that supports people to connect with it to find the infinite potential within and outside. It is a collective space to do one's sadhana and evolve, learn, and grow along with others in Pavithram. Some of the programs conducted by Pavithram are Dharma Satsang, Mandalas, Dharayantram, Dehayantram, Shadow Labs, and so on. This space has been evolving and expanding since its inception and will continue to expand like a mandala. I have personally been associated with the Mandala Festival and Pavithram for the past 3 years, and I am so glad to have each of you be a part of this journey. Today, we are all gathered here to attend the Mandala Satsung, which is also the beginning of the Mandala Festival. The Satsung will be held and conducted by Sivapriya. Sivapriya has been a part of the Mandala Festival since its inception and has played a significant role in the festival every year through her knowledge sharing, hosting, and supporting the festival. Sivapriya is a dancer who explores different nuances of life and arts and science of life as an avid learner of space. She has been drawing and dancing the mandalas outside and inside for quite some years now. Mandalas are an integral part of her being, giving her the space to move around, play, come up with newness, and go beyond it. As a host, I have certain requests for all of you. I request you all to stay on video as it would encourage the speakers, and please keep yourself muted when you are not talking. Thank you so much. Over to you, Shruthi.
Thank you, Anvita. Good evening, everyone. I'm seeing a lot of the faces with a lot of smiles over here, and it has been a very nice gathering exactly towards this mandala, like how a lot of things have connected in the mandala. We have all come up here. This space has become a mandala right now as a satsang for us to carry forward. So let me start with the experience of me. So how mandala came in my life and how is it going on right now? So mandala, the first time when I heard it, it was on the road in Bangalore. I was just talking to a friend who just gave me this word. The moment I heard it, there was two things which were happening inside. One, I know this word. And the next, there is a curiosity which just arose in me because I felt there is just more than what I know. That moment just gave me a lot of burst inside, some energy change which happened inside. So I started looking forward, like, what is a mandala? What is a mandala? What is a mandala? Then slowly, few different things started coming up. Like a mandala of practice, like 48 days of mandala. People go through Sabrimala and they go to 48 days of this. And when we take medicine, we go to Siddha and Ayurveda. There is minimum of 21 days of a mandala of medicine. But all of those things are different from what I've heard. The first time they said, like, there is a festival for mandala. I was very elated. Like, oh wow. And I was asked to be a part of it. I had no clue of what a mandala is all about. But then the curiosity inside, the learner inside, the seeker inside started going here and there, to start with the Google, and there are a lot of books, started asking different people, do you know what it is? I would really like to know. I started looking at plants. I started looking at animals. I started looking at insects. I started looking at Rangoli. So without getting into an interpretation of it, I just started. I just looked at it. So right from 2016, it's like a lot of pictures have been coming in from different people. And it just went in without any words. That is the best part of it. Non-verbally, we were in connect with each other, learning from each other, sharing with each other. So this started happening. I started drawing in my own ways. I was looking at it. After quite long years of non-drawing, suddenly I went into the drawing. it was like a complete shift change. Like a curious child, like a very excited child, I started using colors. I always started to get a notebook, carry it all over. A lot of flowers came in, stars came in, hills came in, rivers came in. So slowly, I could see from smallest thing, it started changing faces. From the simplest one, it became very complex. I knew something was happening inside. So what was that? By then, the mandala classes just came in, danced in front of me. Yes, I jumped in right away. It was just like a gift which I got. And it is not like a month or two, but it was around 2 years of classes. I knew this was something which is very, very in-depth one. Being a yoga practitioner, I know this is another yoga which is coming up in a dry form. At that time, I did not know mandala is a healing process. So by doing it again and again, from the simplest to the complex, lot of things changed. I have never thought about the breath in this way. I've never looked at a dot in that way. Being a very disciplined person and also a very playful person, this was something like a very freedom, a free space for me to explore. I didn't know I could dance on the paper. I used to dance everywhere around physically, but my mental dancing happened on the paper. It was like so much was changing inside. Small things to big things happened. There was non-verbal changing. There was catharsis which was happening. Few many possibilities started to come up. I started to explore colors. Who doesn't like colors, right? From basic 12 colors, it just went with combination of so many things. So byproduct of it is, I started becoming an artist also. So technically, if I could say, there are a lot of things which changed inside. It is not like only the gross part which changed, but a lot of subtle part which started changing. And the meaning of the subtleness is what I gathered during this practice. I would say this is one of the yoga forms. This is one of the expressive forms. This is one of the closeness to the nature by itself. It's more than connecting to different things outside. It is connecting to myself inside. Being said that, it is not only me who's connecting with myself. I started to connect with different people, different frequencies started coming in. I was exploring the possibilities of how can I connect with different people also. Because I'm one person who doesn't like to talk much. Non-verbal communication was best. That is why I became a dancer more than the verbal communication. So by this, for contemplation point of view, I really needed to explain, right? So that one more feather added inside. I noticed how is my verbal communication happening. A lot of layers in the fabric is being seen inside also. So much changed. It is not just the existence, but the expression also which started happening. Very nicely, very smoothly, and in a very progressive way. I started taking classes also on Mandala. So that is another cap which got it inside. I started looking at Mandala everywhere. It slowly opened up different dimensions. One step by one step, it started going in. The nuances of all those things, it just like that flowed in. I don't have to put my effort. Oh, I've been working hard on mandalas. I never had to do all those things. It just flowed in. I used to wonder, oh my God, this is happening just like that. And people started asking, my own family members, like, did you do all these things? And from that, it traveled to, can you please give me this mandala? I really would like to meditate. And when my grandmother asked me that, it just blew something inside me. And that is the healing, that is the divine connection which really happened. I started understanding what is the divine connection which is happening over here. What is the layer which has added inside this? I started seeing the better version of myself. How can I elevate myself in the next processes? So many things started happening. And how the center of the mandala is the heart, my heart started opening up very nicely, much more bigger than what it was. There are a lot of reframing which happened. I didn't have to tell it out loud. It just happened. I can keep on talking like a lot of things like that. So a lot of people have gotten in touch with this divine entity inside. I have shared all these experiences in different platforms. And here, some of you have come with a lot of practitioner. So now I would request all of you to share your experiences with Mandala. How did Mandala came into your life? What is the impact which it made in you, in your immediate environment, or anything from the smallest to the biggest? I'm sure each and every one of you have tongues to say. So we will take turns and we will share. Yes. So whoever wants to go in, please raise your hand so that you can come up and share your experience. Yes. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much, all of you, for coming in here and being here. Yes. Dharani has raised. Yes, Dharani.
Hi everyone on the forum. Sorry, because of the weak connection, I'm not able to turn on the video. So yeah, as Shiva mentioned, when the word that mandala had appeared, somewhere I was related to temples where on the roofs I used to see the drawings and colorings and the patterns which used to amaze me. Where is it all coming from? This kind of a curiosity were there right from my childhood. And I'm not good at drawing and stuff, when I was in college or schools, but I always had my stationery, which included color pencils and color pens. I don't know why I used to carry it. Just like that, I used to have the habit as a child of carrying all the stationery kit. Until the college gets over, I used to carry all this. And one day, all of a sudden, when Prasad introduced me with mandalas, he said, you keep drawing whatever comes into you. Until and then I thought a drawing must be very precise. It should be neat. It should have its own structure and everything, which I was not good at. But slowly, when that one word picked up inside telling, draw whatever comes into my mind, Everything came, the good, the bad, the middle part, the balance part, the neutral part, everything started playing inside and inside. And when I was introduced to the first class of level 1 of Mandala, it was such a magic meditation which happened for me. I was able to sit in a place with a drawing, with the breath connected for almost 1.5 hours to 2 hours, which was not easy for me to sit and meditate just like that, closing the eyes. So it all gave me so much of connection with the colors and the subconscious which is connected behind, and it was in very much an easy flowing practice to do it every day. For me, mandala is like a magic meditation. And as I love to play with colors, it adds more of my intentions, my thoughts, my habits, and everything were all portrayed there inside. And when I was taught, or when I was hinted, when I was made known that it can be used as a healing process, I would like to bring a live example which really did change in my life. When I was asked to draw about hunger a day, I was not able to put it right. But when I was turned with the same question, what is hunger to you, according to you? What is that? How do you connect with that? Draw it accordingly. And I drew a picture which was very light, all very light shades and very light thing, which was I was able to connect that my stomach needs that kind of a food, which I was wondering, I didn't know what I have to be consuming. And I don't know how many of you would believe. And from that day, that mandala which came onto the paper changed the entire habit of my lifetime. From then onwards, I can only start eating the light food for my stomach. It really did a massive change. I even crookedly tried eating the normal food which I used to have it earlier, but it showed its own effect. So mandala was there as a meditation, as a healing part, and to know what state of mind am I handling through. I'm still in the learning process. I will be learning ahead for years, I know, but this one magic mandala had happened in my life, and this continues forever. Thank you, Shiva. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dharani. Thank you for sharing that particularity in the change which happened in you. Thank you so much. Yes, Vishnu. Please share.
Hi Shiva, hi everyone. Glad to be back for Mandala Festival for the 5th year in a row. And I'm so glad it is expanding into multiple countries and regions and everything. So I have a very big connect with Mandala in the real world. I particularly do not draw, but I keep looking at everybody's Mandala and try to connect with it for a very long time. I have a story, I think some of you might already know, where this is a real world thing. Okay, like it's like mandala is like a horoscope 101. Like it's amazing. So I was looking for, like, I was helping my brother to find a bride for a very long time, and we tried every possible way, like for 3 years, right? So, and he has been telling me, I want a girl like this. With he explained me by telling about Venn diagram, right, which looks like a mandala. There is an intersection, there is a space and everything. I used to wonder, what is he talking about? Like, how is it even possible? Whatever he's talking, where is it possible? And I was in Path of the Spirit class, and there was this person sitting next to me, and I was thinking that image was like in my head, right? So I was thinking how to do, like what to do about it. That image, who will I go and tell? And when I turn around and saw, when Prasad asked us to draw the mandala, and when I turn around and saw whatever image was in my head was on that paper, and that person was drawing the same exact image that came in my head, and it was there. Then I was like, okay, there is something happening here, let me do something, like. And then I just connected them, and they're expecting a baby in 15 days. So that's how powerful mandala has impacted my life. From then I started connecting with the symbols. Like, mandala is a symbol of people's subconscious, what they may not know how to articulate, may not know how to even act on it. Mandalas actually tell what they feel and what they like. It's an easy way to connect with people without even knowing, without even expressing words, like you said, right? So this story, I think most of you already know, but I'm still in like excitement that it happened. Like it was like a shock. Like there is a symbol in the head and it's in the paper, and it's like, wow, that's like amazing. So thanks a lot for the opportunity, Shiva.
Thank you, Vishnu. I think some of us have experienced that with you, actually. As you said, yes, mandala is not only on the paper, but it's inside each and every one of us. They're all around us also. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Vishnu. Yes, Haripriya. Yeah, Haripriya has raised her hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I'm Haripriya from Chennai. I hope you can hear me. The most recent experience with mandalas, which actually changed the way I look at mandalas, a lot of unlearning happened, was through the mandala morning class I attended with you, Sivapriya. I have been practicing mandalas since 2018, and for me, my introduction to mandalas happened when I was in a very distressful phase of postpartum depression, actually. And someone introduced Zentangles to me, but I couldn't connect much with Zentangles. Although I kept practicing, and out of the blue, I met a mandala artist. I didn't even know what the word meant, and he introduced me to what is a mandala and everything, and I started drawing. And eventually, end of that year, I attended a workshop where they taught how to draw a mandala. But again, it was all very structured and approached from an art perspective, not from a spiritual perspective. But as a person, I know me, whenever I take up something, usually I get interested in it, but after a while I lose interest in many things that I've taken up in life right from my childhood. But I don't know what is the magic of mandalas. Since 2018, I'm amazed that after three and a half years, I'm still connecting to the art form. I want to learn more about it. And for me, my fascination also goes back to watching the sand mandala creation by Tibetan monks, right? And the concept of letting go and impermanence, that brought me out of that phase of depression, actually, along with the practice of mandalas. So I think I'm more and more unlearning a lot about mandalas, and this particular festival was a major discovery for me after the mandala morning class. And when I came to know about Pavithram, I could feel that, I want to go and see the team, meet the people who are doing this, and some sort of spiritual learning I want to take from here is what is my thing. And for me, it's more like I'm practicing mandalas, but I'm moving from that rigidity phase to kind of being very open, and not for keeping boundaries to, drawing within grids or anything. The more I'm talking to about it to people, earlier I used to tell them, buy these tools, start doing mandalas in this pattern. But right now, I am just telling people, like, allow yourself to see mandala as a form of expression. And I'm also self discovering myself through this, open experimentation of mandalas, instead of being very rigid. Discovering the true expression of my subconscious. That is what I'm practicing right now. Big thanks to your session, especially. And I look forward to, actually, I'm planning to come in October for the offline sessions also to Pavithram. And yeah, I hope to learn a lot from this festival. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Haripriya. That was so authentic. Yeah, it's nice to see your journey of discovering and how it is going on. Thank you so much. If you would like to talk, please raise the hand so that you can come and talk. Yes, Neetu.
Hello. Good evening.
Go ahead.
Very, very happy to see you once again. Just after the last minute session. And what I would like to tell you is, probably I just agree with the previous participant's story. For me, mandala is totally new. And almost, I think I should say that 1 month back only I have discovered it. And I was taking it as a drawing. And even if I was taking as a drawing, it was very satisfying, because when you finish it, it looks very beautiful and something out of the expectations. One of my yoga friends, she told me that you can use it for meditation and all, but that was seeming very boring. So I never took it up. But then as I got more engrossed into it and I started doing various patterns myself, some semicircles, some half circles like that and all, it looked more and more interesting, and it really involves you automatically. It happens automatically. And then I just looked at your ad, and then I decided to do it. Okay, I will do it and all. And after attending to your sessions, it was really an eye opener, because how you can align yourself, center yourself, and how you can project your mind onto the paper, that itself was a very new happening to me. And as you asked us to explore the emotions, thoughts and all, it was very, very new for us, because how can you write your thoughts, or how can you reflect your thoughts onto the paper that is in your mind, right? So, but we did that exercise, and that was really, really very good. Even after finishing your classes, when I look at those patterns, it seems to communicate to me something. Something is there in that mandala. And I wish to go really a long journey. Let us see for how long. But really, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Neetu. New beginnings, right? Yeah, thank you. Yes, Dharani, you can share.
Yeah, this was a very close to heart moment when I discovered how did mandala heal my grandmother. When my grandfather passed away very recently, and my grandmother had almost lived 3/4 of her life with him each and every day, she couldn't move her energies once he passed away. And she was having short breaths and everything, and she started telling that I'm not able to sleep. Every day I'm sleeping, I wake up in the middle of the night, I don't know what to do, this, that and everything. And when I shared this with Prasad, he said ask her to start drawing, and she didn't have any clue to draw column. Other than that, she haven't never touched a pencil or so. But when I really taught her to just connect with her breath, and I used to draw the avarnas and give it to her, she will color according to her pace. I thought maybe I will give it a try to help her. Let us see how interested she is about, because she's almost 73-year-old. And strangely, she started practicing it for 2 days, and I told her how her breath is going when she was scribbling it fast, when she was doing it in a slow pace. And then she got the nuance of it. Within a week's time, she started telling that my breath has started taking in a very good slow pace, and I am able to control it. And I'm aware that it is controlled, because I kept telling her one thing: just connect with your breath. Just connect with your breath. Whatever thought comes inside, leave it apart, connect with your breath. And in a week's time, she started coloring the mandalas, and she started getting so enthusiastic that every day she will post me, find someone's phone nearby, she will post and send it to me through WhatsApp. How is my coloring? Did you identify what is it today? And that, this and everything. And slowly she started sleeping well also. So that was one evident change which I saw in my grandmother, as well as now past a month, she was not able to practice due to some puja at home. Now she called up to me again, and she asked me, what is the next state of drawing should I be doing? Come and give it to me. I was so glad, and I'm so thankful for making me introduce and letting me to pass on the same knowledge to my grandmother, which had healed her almost 3/4, I would say. So that is how mandala has taken place in my family as well. And surprisingly, she didn't even open her mouth until she completes the complete drawing. She used to give her a maid instruction telling her, don't come in the middle of the drawing, don't talk and everything. And the maid and all were so surprised. What is she doing? What happened to her suddenly? What is she up to and all? So that was a very great experience that I was able to see it from my grandmother.
Wonderful. Mandala doesn't see any body or the age. It is just there
Very.
for everyone. Right? Thank you, Dharani, for that. Thank you. Yes, so we have a lot of people. Please go ahead and share.
I'd like to share.
Yes, Ragini, please go ahead.
I'm very new to this journey. It's been this year only that I got connected through a friend who's here. And I remember the first class that I attended for Mandala, in which it was said that in ancient times, people looked at the outside world through caves. And at that point of time, I felt that is where exactly I am. I have my own cave of looking outside the world, and that's how I related. And from that day onward, I feel through the avarnas, I have been able to explore one by one some of the most important connections that are in my life. And that also gave me a huge sense of freedom somewhere on the inside, because I was someone who was operating in very tight structures. Rules were very important to me. So awareness gave a whole new sense of looking at the world and coming outside of the cave, at the same time going inside it whenever I wanted to. And where I am latest is the story mandala, which is very new to me. I never really knew that there could be so many stories that could have been told as mandalas. And I could get the opportunity to listen to so many stories on different aspects. So I'm very grateful for it, and I look forward to being part of it for a long time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ragini. I could connect to what you're saying actually. So for a person who's too structured, the unstructuredness will be like a very full different space altogether. For a person who is on the opposite end, the structuredness will be a totally different new space. So both are actually play areas where we just have to go and explore. And it just happens on the paper. And that is a very good part, no? Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Ragini. So, yes, Bhagya, please go ahead.
Hello, hi everyone.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. As everybody was sharing, it reminded me of my journey of Mandala Festival and Mandalas, which I started last year. So previous, like 1.5 years back, I saw this mandalas thing on Instagram, and I got attracted to the art form of the mandalas, like how it is made in the circles with those intricate patterns. And from there on, I was very curious. I was fond of drawing, so I wanted to really draw that beautiful drawing. That is how my curiosity was, and that is how I started. And with that only, I got into these mandalas. And last year, I was a part of Mandala Festival with intention of knowing what the mandalas are. And when I started, like at that moment, it was a completely different angle got exposed to me. Like not just the art form of the mandala, but seeing mandalas in the dance, seeing mandalas in my cooking, seeing mandalas in song, seeing mandalas in trek. Like from last Mandala Festival onwards, like where I saw all these forms, I'm able to spot mandalas around, not just that art form, but in things around me. So that was a very wonderful experience for me, and that has changed the meaning of mandalas for me to some extent, to a large extent. And as we were talking about, as Vishnu mentioned, right, it's a subconscious which is coming on the paper. Whenever I have drawn mandalas, earlier I was also very structured. For me, the drawing had to be beautiful. I would sit and draw every line neatly. It has to be symmetric, this and that. Later, when I was drawing, at some point of time, I just started drawing without that structuredness or without that compulsion of it being beautiful. And slowly I'm observing as it changed on the paper for me, it has also changed for me. rather than being that too perfect, or rather than being that compulsive in life and doing things and taking that much pressure about drawing things and making everything look good. As it changed on the paper, it also changed for me as a person. So that's a beautiful experience or connect that I see in how it is on the paper and how it reflects me and how it is me there. So that has been my experience with mandalas. I can see, like, first time when I was drawing mandala, I made it so intricate. Like as I started painting the patterns, till the time I reached the outer oven, I was really tired. So it was a part of, it is how it is for me in life, like taking up so many things and then dealing with it tires me. So it is some, whatever is coming out on the paper, how it is giving some exposure to see me how I am. So that's how my experience with mandalas has been. And last year's Mandala Festival was a very big opening to me to different angles of mandalas, different seeing mandalas in different things. So I'm really excited for it this year too. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhagya. When you say that, it's like the mirror is showing whatever is there inside. So it's like just a reflection of what is happening. And there is an acceptance also which is coming in of, okay, this is what I am. How do I go about it? So it just happens like that. So that's a magic of mandalas. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so Haripriya has written, my experience further about the beauty of mandala is that drawing a mandala is a very unique and personal experience to each person. Very true. In fact, it is unique for each time we draw as an individual. Every mandala we draw shows us a new thing about ourselves. We can go on exploring yourself in various dimensions. The discovery seems infinite and abundant. It is a journey of acceptance of our own expression and reflection of who we are. Very nicely put, Haripriya. Thank you so much for sharing that. A lot of things are coming in actually from each person's perspective. How much of change has gone in? Yeah, that's nice. Yes, Ranveer. Please go ahead.
Hi, myself Ranveer. I got introduced to Mandala just month before. I want to share my experience in two phases. So, like from childhood to till now, like past 1 month earlier. So I was such a kid where I have brought up in such an environment where I always wanted to see results rather than the process. So actually process it will process step by step, it will leads to result, but I'm always result oriented. So in that getting the result, so I haven't much focused on results in that phase. I was not so much emotionally connected. I was like introvert. I have my own space. I live in that own space. I would have much experience the people around me. I was such kind of a person. So then I thought this doesn't work like this way. I started changing, like kind of transformation. I would start meditation, everything. But for some extent, that the transformation has happened. But once mandala has come into my life, it's like it's connection with our breath. So when we connect with our breath, so when I has a tendency to run always, so I actually slowed down. Then I started seeing everything, but still I feel to again because it's a pattern which I have carried from since from childhood. So right now it's slowing down, watching the things and watching the breath. It takes a lot of patience and focus and concentration. But yeah, I miss sometimes. But yes, this mandala has made me to stay in the present and like watch our intonations while speaking, watch our tone, and watch your like time space. Is it the right time to talk or not? So such thing, like maybe a communication way, like a lot of emotions will be suppressed within us, like expressing our emotions. I was not able to express through words actually. So many people there are too who suppress us actually. But once I started drawing mandala, so when I got a confidence of expressing my emotions on paper, this indirectly directly affected me, like expressing my emotions little bluntly to say, because if I feel it's true, I'll definitely like express through my words. I'll say, no, this is right, and you go through this. People are actually following and they're listening to me, because whenever I speak, whenever I talk, I feel little I'm truthful and genuine. So yeah, mandala has made me. It is much more comfortable within myself. Uh, yeah, there's still long way to go. Still in exploring phase. Yeah, this is small experience about mandala.
That is wonderful. Uh, the way you connected with that is really nice. So the awareness has come in so much, like small things to big things has started changing. It's like these nuances actually make the mandala come into his life. And that actually just in turn changes so nicely within us, just like a flower. Yeah, it's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Ramesh. Yes, we have a lot of people here. Please go ahead. Everyone is very curious about what other people's journey is also about. A lot of people are here with years of experience also, who have just started right now in recent times also. Yes, Sudharsan. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so I got introduced to mandala about 2.5 years back, and when I first saw the brochure, the first thing I did was I called Prasad and I was like, Prasad, the last time I drew something freehand was my 10th standard biology exam, and after that I've not done anything freehand. Can I join this? And he was like, this is not about drawing the perfect line. It is not about drawing the perfect shape. And he was like, you just come, we'll take it from there. You don't have to draw perfect lines for you to practice mandala. And then I think that from that point on, it has been like a tremendous journey of understanding and trying to see what is there. And I would like to talk about a couple of examples how mandalas changed my life. So I used to be a very like kiddish person. Like all through my college, I used to be this person who used to be really silly all the time and like always pull others' legs, and like that was the person I used to be. And then somewhere from that time through my grad school and through my job, I had become this like really serious person who's like, okay, we have to do this like this and no other way. This is the way to do this, so we have to just do that way. Like very like if I draw a line, stay to the line kind of person. through the mandala class, I drew one mandala, which is like you are talking about the unstructured form, right? Like structured and unstructured. And there was this one mandala that was like the unstructured form of mandala. And when I drew that, a week after that, we went on a trip. And I could see that immediately after that, I had somehow become that kid again, that silly person again. And it was like there was so much joy in getting connected to that inner child. And like I started dancing on the road, like I was like hopping on the road while walking, and there was so much joy in just letting go and be that. And it took me a little bit of time to connect the dots of like my transformation to this kid person and this unstructured mandala. But once I saw it, was like just mind blowing. Like just manifesting that inner desire on paper actually just transformed my behavior in such a way that there was so much joy in me. And that is again, I think, coming to the point about healing that you are talking about. So that was like a wonderful transformation to mandala. The other transformation that I want to talk to about was like once I drew a mandala, which was like it was like a butterfly. The mandala was about a butterfly. And I've been a photographer for like a really long time. I've been taking photos for a really long time, and I've not been able to photograph a butterfly until that point. Like it was for years, like it's more than 10-12 years or whatever. It's more than that. I've not been able to photograph a butterfly. And after I drew that mandala, then somehow some magic happened. And for the next 3 months, I have actually captured at least 20 different species of butterflies in so many different angles. And that manifestation of, this is another example of like putting it on paper and then it is actually manifesting in real life. And yeah, it was like so beautiful to see that transformation. Like it also sounds mystical, but it is real. Like there have been so many examples of this happening. So yeah, that is my experience that I would like to share.
Wow.
Thanks, Sheila.
Manifesting butterfly on the paper, and then it just appeared very magically for the next 3 months. The diviner shower. It's like magical. Just go on. Whatever you asked for it. Isn't that wonderful? As you said, yes, it's mind blowing and magical. Thank you, Sudharsan. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, Haripriya.
Yeah, all the experiences being shared, they're actually giving goosebumps. I just wanted to add one more point, a very healing thought that I also experienced through mandala is that I remember one line you had shared about how mandala is actually many dots coming together, and we as a whole, all the people whom we meet are all part of that mandala. Our whole universe is a representation of mandala, and every person we meet actually completes our mandala as a person, right? So I have experienced, all of us would have experienced people in life who come and go. There will be failures, there will be loss of relationships. But when I understood mandala from this point of view that you had shared, I realized that if one person had gone missing in this whole thing, our mandala will not be complete. So each of that person was required, whether they stayed or they left, they were required to complete the mandala. Their presence in our life was required to to go on with the mandala of our life, right? So I started recognizing why some people happen to us, some experiences happen to us, that is because of the need to complete ourselves. So that was one healing thought that I derive every time, when I think of a mandala. It's something, it's a healing thought. I understand, I accept people as they were in my life, when they came and they left. Also all experiences, without judging them. I'm accepting it as part of my mandala as a person. So this is something I wanted to share because I think healing is a very important aspect of drawing a mandala, right? So that is something I wanted to share. And I hear a lot of people talking about avarnas. I'm actually not introduced to that word. Would be nice if you can explain a little bit about the same.
Yeah. The spaces between the circles are called avarnas. So there is a journey which happens after that also. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Haripriya. That thing which you connected with people of like dots coming together and how they were important and accepting people as they come, even if they're not there, and we are taking them as a part of our life. That is another acceptance. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes, Veena, please go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm not a person who likes to talk. If something is making me talk today, it's because of the mandala. It's the mandala inside me. Whatever I have to talk, I kind of put in my drawings or paintings or whatever I do. I have never been a person who communicates. So I'm a little bit nervous also, like with all of you looking at me, I'm like, okay, what am I going to share? For me, mandalas have come into my life when there was some block in moving forward, which was the first time I was in Himachal for a meditation retreat, and a friend introduced me to mandalas through an art therapy. The second time was last year. My mother had to undergo a surgery and there was a lot of stress involved. And when we were back home, I got in touch with a 21-day mandala challenge that a friend posted, and it kept coming back to me. So I took it up. My mother took it up, and it was very healing for her. And it was just from a art perspective, not really from the spiritual perspective, which Pavithram does. And in January this year, I painted a drawing. I didn't really like mandalas when I looked at them because it's like very circle, and the initial feeling was like, I don't want to draw this. I want to draw more like, nature. So in January, I painted something in which like I'm looking at a big circle which looked like the moon to me, and I'm standing there, what next? And there was some clarity I needed. And yeah, and soon after that, I saw this level 1, brochure in a friend's wall, WhatsApp status, and that's how I messaged Prasad and joined. So I didn't have any clue about Pavithram or what it's going to be. It was just, I think, my inner guidance that brought me into this. So I thought just one level 1, that's it for me. But then now I have registered for so many courses from Pavithram, and I'm very grateful for that. One of the things that has come to me through the mandalas is simplicity. When I initially drew, I would like to use all the colors, all the shapes, make the mandalas. So for me, I think that was how I carried my life also. So these days, like slowly, I find my mandalas are simpler, maybe a little boring too, but I kind of like it that way. Mandalas also help me to integrate and consolidate my thoughts, my feelings when I look at them. And before drawing the mandala, integrating with the breath, mandala was a one-way communication to me. Like whatever I feel, I let go, I let it out. But these days, it's slowly starting to become like a two-way communication. It's like I can hear or I get my messages through the mandala. So it's a very special experience for me. And I also feel I've been part of the story mandala that's going, the sessions that are happening recently. And I feel like a lot of playfulness and drama is coming back into my life. I worked in the corporate sector and I had a lot of responsibilities. So I had somehow thought that, this playfulness and drama is not required there. I'm supposed to be very serious and, people will not take me seriously if I am silly and that way. So when that comes out through the stories, that in itself is healing. That's what I have to share. Thank you.
This is huge, Veena. Like the ability to see what is there, what is not there, and what is required, and how to take it forward itself is a creating vision which is happening through this. Be it story, be it drawing mandalas, whatever it is all about seeing and integrating when it is required and to see when it is not also. So there is a clarity which is coming up actually, right? So wonderful. Thank you, Veena, for sharing that. Thank you. Yes. Yes, Neetu. There are a lot of events which are going on. We are starting the Mandala Festival from today. So that is why we started with the Satsungh of the Mandala. And we have a lot of interviews which are coming up on Saturdays and Wednesdays with different people coming from different backgrounds who have mastered, who are expertise in their own mandalas. So they're going to share their journey. The Zoom links and what is it all about is all provided in the website. Which day, which dates are all there. Like say, for example, in the interviews, there is a person who's going to talk about body mandala, how his one contemporary dance have changed a lot of people. And there is one person who's coming from the background of playback theater. It's her mandala. How is she connected? How is she doing that? And what is the healing modality which she has taken up as? There is a Swamiji which is coming, who's talking about Bhagavad Gita. There is a Bansuri performance which shows the mandala of rhythm and harmony. And on October 10th, we are having the Mandala Festival, the final Mandala Festival, which happens online during the evening, and morning there is a satsang. So all the details are provided in the mandalafestival.info website. There is a Zoom link also from which you can join. I hope you got the idea. Yes? Yes. So the Mandala Festival program detail is given here in the chat. You can go through that. Yeah. So here is, there is Dr. Jayashree who's talking about hormones. There is Ganesh Tantri who's talking about farming with harmony, traditional farming with harmony. Yeah. So the whole website itself is a mandala. As you can see, a lot of frequencies which are coming together, which is actually, yeah. So in detail, everything is being put over there, and there is a mandala of expedition also. So next month we are going for an expedition at Rishikesh, where we will be doing a hiking and whitewater rafting in the cold waters of Ganga. So testing and going through the body mandala and the subtle mandala also. So yes. Please go ahead and share. We're actually waiting for each and every one of you to join and share your experiences. We are actually weaving a mandala right now with the satsang. Yeah. So here you can see a progression mandala from one dot, how it slowly expands into the first avarna, and then the second avarna, the third, fourth, and fifth layers are all coming together. The space between the first circle and the second circle, the space between the circles is called an avarna, where the patterns are coming up, where the patterns are being created, and the patterns are being interweaved. So as you can see, each and every avarna is having its own frequency of pattern. And the exploration also happens over there. So layer by layer, which is being added over there, which shows the growth of it. And that is how we are also growing, right? Right from the womb, we come out to the world, and then we just grow from there to the childhood, and then being a teenager, then being an adult, and now where we are. So it's like weaving of layers and layers of it. I hope Haripriya, you got the idea of what is an avarna. Yes. Thank you. Okay, there is someone who has shared in chat, Shruthi. Hello all, hope you're all doing good. I would like to share my experience as well. I started my beautiful and wonderful art journey when I was in UKG. The very first picture I drew was one from a storybook. I started to draw that picture because I was in a very bad state. That's when I realized how art had an impact on me. Then I got introduced to mandalas, Zentangles and Madhubani. I just loved and enjoyed doing mandalas as it made me a better person. I became more patient, calm, and composed. It made me very positive in life. It is like just go with the flow and smile in every situation. I'm a very happy person now. But I would like to get to know more about mandalas as you all have such good experiences. I'm just awestruck hearing how mandala has an impact on how you eat, feel, make good communication, be bold, heal oneself. So many emotions you all shared by your experiences. Thank you for all your stories with mandala. Now I'm eager to explore the aspects of mandala and how mandala can heal people. Thank you, Shruti. Yeah, lot of stories, right? Lot of experiences. And looking at all these things, hearing, we know it is an ocean. It is not, we have just touched one drop of the ocean. There is a lot more to do. Yes, Divya, please go ahead.
Hi everyone. So I'd like to share my experience with mandalas. I got introduced to mandalas as an art form, as something you sit and draw a few years ago, again on social media. But all the mandalas I used to see, they were very attractive, they were very perfect, they were like so many avarnas they had, and so somewhere in my head, I think it just registered inside that, oh, if it's a mandala, it has to be beautiful to look at. It has to be colorful. It has to be huge. And that was the idea I used to have. But what I found was, although to look at, I was so inspired by looking at those mandalas that everyone was drawing. But because it had to be perfect, every time I would sit down to draw it, the first thought in my head would be, oh, will it be as perfect as I have seen? And so I don't think I connected with the art form as much. And then 2 years ago, when I went to India, I met Prasad, and the Mandala Fest happened. And then when I went to that Mandala Fest, there were so many people who were talking about their mandalas. Like, I know you spoke about dance and Vishnu spoke about karate. Everyone was talking about what they do, but as a mandala, what is that mandala all about? And it was like a switch. That is when I realized mandalas are not just something you draw, it's much more deeper than that. And right after that, I had the opportunity to join the mandala class. And I think one of the first things that Prasad taught was, if you feel it's wrong, just erase it. It's okay, no. What's the big deal? And I think that took the pressure off so much that it's not about drawing perfect shapes, but it is about being authentic and having that comfort in my authenticity that really opened up something for me. And my mandalas flourished, and in turn I flourished. I could feel things falling in place. I could feel, I used to breathe while drawing the mandalas, and that just, me and my mandalas were like reflecting each other. And that was such a huge opening for me. And I realized that on a day-to-day basis, it doesn't have to be a huge life-changing impact that, oh, this one day everything changed. It's a little bit every day. On a daily basis, so many things started falling in place. I started seeing mandalas in the way I cook. How, like, first I'll cut the veggies, then I'll put the cooker. So everything was one layer for me. Or how I keep the space around me. That was a mandala. Everywhere I saw mandalas emerging. In my friendships, in my family relationships, everything became a mandala, and everything just came together so beautifully and so nicely. And I started feeling the joy, and I think that is when I started feeling the connect. And yeah, I think that I feel so grateful that I was able to feel that connect. That is my experience with mandalas.
Thank you, Divya. I could resonate with what you said, actually. The moment, the freedom of like, okay, if it is not going good, then I can erase it, simple as that. That actually lifted a lot of pressure. As you rightly said, being comfortable in my own authenticity. That is something which really is needed for the growth, for the development, for being us to be who we are. Yeah, that is wonderful, actually. Thank you, Divya, for sharing that.
Thank you, Shiva. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Some of us have heard about it, and we have just looked into that also. We did not have started drawing, but drawing mandalas, but we just, okay, I've heard. So what had happened inside you when the moment you heard it, but still not have taken the progress of like, okay, let me join the class and see, like that. Is there anything like that? Would you like to share? Yes, Sunita, please go ahead.
Hi. My name is Sunita. You can call me Zuni as well. That's my name in my corporate world and at home. I hope you're able to hear me. Okay, thank you. So yesterday is what or when I learned about your community, and the website. And I had kept a reminder for myself so that I can attend this satsang. And honestly, yesterday, it was a very, I don't know, I was not emotionally well. So I was just browsing through internet. So, I was waiting for some way that I could be, lightheaded or remove my tension and my worries. So I received a call from my friend, and that cheered me up. One thing is that. Second thing is, I wanted to let her know that, we should attend some satsang, or we should attend some spiritual activity where we would be able to help us be happy in whatever situation we are in. So that's when, by chance, I just read about your post on Instagram, and that's how I went to your website and I checked that, oh, the exact word, like it was in a matter of 20 minutes that I got that word satsang. And I was really delighted, and somehow I wanted to explore and know about what exactly this is. Mandala, yes. I have a friend whose name is Mandala. That intrigued me as to why his name is Mandala. I kept on asking him a lot, and that is when I got to know that, okay, this is an intricate design, a geometrical design, and there are a lot of healing process in it. Honestly, I have not done it by myself. I have checked posts of a girl who keeps on updating her profile with mandala designs, and those are literally very amazing to see. And I would definitely like to explore it. Now, the experiences that I've heard on this session, I would like to thank them all, because it's given me a perspective now that, yes, this is one thing that I can try and I can see, because personally I'm a very confused person. And something that keeps me to my goal, or there are different things that I have tried my hands on, but I have not attained much of the goals that I need to. And if this is one path that will help me get through those goals, one thing is that, and second is, if it keeps me happy, then I'll definitely like to try. Thank you so much, and thank you for letting me speak about my experience.
You're welcome, Sunita. Actually, this is really good that you got connected to that when you wanted to connect with that, right? It is just like something which you wanted and it just appeared magically. Wonderful. Thank you, Sunita, for that. There is a Mandala exhibition page in the Mandala website festival also. So you can visit there. You can see a lot of people who have been practicing mandalas, have shared their mandalas, and their connect with that particular mandala. So what is their connect? Through words also they have explained. So you can connect with the mandala, you can connect with the artist and see what is going on. You can see a lot of people have shared their expressions. Yes, Raghav, please go ahead.
Thanks, Shiva, and thanks to everybody, and hello to everyone. My name is Raghav. My journey with mandala, I don't know where to begin. 2018, I think I came to India with some health issues and everything, and I came to Pavithram through a friend of mine, and for me, mandala is nature's magic. I call it nature's magic, and it's a destiny that I am supposed to reach and explore and enjoy, actually. initially, like from my school days, writing and drawing was not my forte at all. I mean, my teachers used to beat the living crap out of me to write and draw and everything. So initially was drawing and all these things were very difficult, and drawing a mandala with so much of rules and regulations was kind of hard. But somehow I took baby steps and I started drawing, and now I can't stop drawing these mandalas, because they are some sort of reflection of myself when I put it on a paper. So of course, this is a very structured manner you need to draw. There are rules and everything. So I also used to get very anxious that it has to be perfect. It has to be perfect, right? But then eventually, what I really found out was being imperfect itself is a perfection. So that opened up a huge portal inside me. Like, okay, I need to just see what is exactly happening. So I started drawing it, and I used to draw like when I'm in a different emotional state. When I'm happy, I draw. When I'm sad, I draw. When I'm angry, I draw. When I'm frustrated, like all the different emotion I'll draw. And all these things, when I'm angry, I'm probably shouting or fighting or something. I cannot see myself. But when I put it on a paper, I kind of see, it's like a reflection what goes on inside me during these different emotional stages. So as understood, as I was going on and on and on, when the real practices started with like breathing and everything, I'm a biologist, and I always have big problem to present PowerPoints in front of a huge crowd. I get so anxious. My palms are sweaty, and like, my shirt is completely drowned in sweat. But then this breathing technique actually helped me. I mean, it's more than just drawing on a piece of paper, but it actually develops a lot of, for me, it developed a lot of things internally to be more stronger and be confident and everything. Then another aspect of mandala which opened a specific not idea, I would not say idea, but a specific opportunity to understand as a biologist about how does a single cell can perform so many things, and which led me to a very creative opportunity that Prasad, and during our lockdowns, I did some studies on DNA and stuff, which I've been doing for many years, but I never came to so close to understand something. And there, when I saw that all of us here, or everybody in this world, is a beautiful creation of 4.5 billion years of a mandala, let's say it that way, because everybody holds every cell in each and our body, which forms different organs, has this DNA, which functions in a very specific set of manner, in an orchestrated way for our survival. I mean, we are a masterpiece of nature, which will just keep on going and going and going, and it will never end. And this journey of understanding about a lot of different things, and especially biological perspective, was a very beautiful experience, which I'm still going through. And of course, and after I started drawing, I always like, for example, go outside and look at flowers, or look at honeybees, for example, even flies. They are everything has some sort of a pattern of living, and that creates this amazing, it's a nature's magic. As I said, it's a nature's magic, and we all have to or will somehow are connected together with this beautiful concept of mandala. And I'm pretty thankful for everybody who's part of this beautiful family, and I think this journey can never end. Oh, somebody that I think
We are very
you
much
shared. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, that's actually the most beautiful part of this thing. If you go to the next slide, or the previous one which you showed, these different DNA structures. Like when you see the lower four structures, they look, it's in 2D. When you look, it looks like some crazy things. But when you look from the top angle, that's how DNA actually looks. If you look at it in the top angle, and when I saw this, it blew my mind. And I have worked with this for like many years, and I never observed this so closely. And that was through Mandala. And this is that's the essence of each and every cells that we have inside our body. And that's the flower of life. That's beautiful. Yeah. So that's my experience, and I really enjoy it, and I hope you guys all will enjoy as well. And everybody has a different way to interpret and connect with it. So that's my experience and my journey so far. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Raghav. For people who don't know Raghav was a scientist who closely worked with the liver and its function, with the DNA. He has been researching for quite a long time. So he knows the liver mandala, he knows the mandala of the cell, and how they are making different mandalas also. I would really love if Raghav could explain a bit more about that also. I think most of us would like to hear from him. Raghav, there is
now you are putting me into the position. Okay, I can shortly explain what I do basically, and how like in a general way, you know that there are many organs in your body which have different function, right? And how these different organs perform in such a symbiotic way, and that's the beauty that's why I say that we are a masterpiece of nature. And in liver you have whatever you eat, it's completely broken down by liver, and it's then gets into circulation and everything. But the process of breaking down is such an amazing concept, because liver by itself purifies you, actually, right? Whatever Prasad, if he's online, I can use his reference, cheese, whatever cheese, chocolate, masala dosa, I don't know. So this has to be broken down and detoxify your body. There's a huge number of cells inside your liver which actually functions in a very symbiotic way together with your intestine, together with your brain and everything. And there are multiple cells. It's like I'm sitting here and I'm still discussing this the same way. Liver is one of those organs which we closely study about how different cells inside the liver work together in a beautiful way to detoxify it. And if I have to go even more specific about it, I think I can say that it's the beauty of this organ and how each and every cells in them talk to each other, communicate with each other to support our whole body is by itself is a beautiful orchestrated entity, which is like mandala, like how you if heart is your center of your body, each and every cell inside you has a center which has in turn more centers. The deeper you go, it keeps on going and going, and that's what the whole mandala aspect of visualization come into the liver. So I don't want to go too technical, but that's how I look at it. And it's not only the liver in your body, actually. It's every organ, everything that you that works together. You eat and then you get energy and you walk. It all has to synchronize in a particular, very specific, intricate manner to function. So, and this visualization, when I see it, the drawing mandalas and everything completely changed my perspective of looking at things. What happens with everybody. Okay, now everybody give $50 for free lessons. Just joking. Thank you, guys.
That was wonderful, Raghav, actually. The way you see those connections and you are explaining that, okay, this is how it is. And the alignment part which you explained as like, we can internally feel, yes. It's like, I'm sure every one of you started connecting with your liver and parts of the body, right? Yeah. So that was wonderful, Raghav. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Here's a small TED talk which is coming up. We'll all listen to it. We'll see how the mandala came up in a person's life.
I bow to the divinity in each one of you. My life can be divided into two. One is before mandalas and after mandalas. So you can take a look at it. It is finding the flywheel using mandala. Okay. This is a washerman story. The washerman, once the washerman, the boy and the donkey, they used to go every day to wash clothes. And the washerman used to keep the clothes on the donkey, and donkey used to carry the clothes. You can see the expression on the donkey's face. It's carrying the clothes, it's quite tired. So what happened was, when they turned around the corner, a few of the crowd which stayed there, they said, look at this guy. The washerman, can't he understand what animal rights are? What is he doing? He's giving too much load to the donkey. So the washerman said, yes, it's correct. Let's do something about it. Then what happened was, the donkey started walking with them, the washerman started carrying the clothes. So they kept on going like this for a few days, and around the corner again a comment came. Look at what the washerman is doing. He is absolutely not doing it good. He's making the donkey also walk, and the child and the small boy also walk along with him. What is this craziness? So next day the washerman agreed to them, and next day what happened was this. The donkey was carrying the child, the washerman was carrying the clothes. So it went on like this for a few days, and after that again a comment came saying that, come on, you should really look at what animal rights are, and look at what is happening. The washerman is carrying all the clothes, the animal is always tortured. And so later what happened was, the washerman was put on the donkey, so that because of his tiredness, he can release of the tiredness. So every day this became the routine. The boy started carrying the clothes. And after some time, the people around the corner, they started talking, look at how things are. Again another comment came up, and this is what happened. Later on, the washerman started carrying the donkey, and the child started carrying the clothes. My life was also something similar. I used to take whatever people used to tell me. I didn't have a clue of how to understand. I didn't have a clue of how to decide. So what happened was, over a period of time, I got into a very chaotic situation in my life, where things were going here and there. I had no clue of what is happening. My emotions were going overwhelming. My memory, I had a lot of forgetfulness. My body was in pain. I had arthritis by that time. I had, if I had diagnosed myself from this particular point, I would have said I had depression also. So I had no set goals. I was very tricky in talking to people. My relationships were very bad. I felt very insecure inside, and I wouldn't trust anyone. I was so adamant, and I was holding on to everything what I said. So that was very deep, and my body was in pain. Inside my mind, I didn't know how to contemplate, how to go about, what to do. I always wanted my parents, and I always used to blame my parents for whatever they have not done for me. So that was the situation. So at that time, I met, I would call her a sensei. Sensei is a person who has walked in front. She asked me to sit and meditate and do yoga. Yeah, I went and sat down. I had to sit still for meditating. So when I sat down still, my body wouldn't stay still. Like when I'm sitting down in meditation like this, my body would go forward like this, come back, and it will go left, right. Every second, every few seconds it used to do it, and I was not able to control it. The moment I start controlling it, it will start paining. So it was very severe, and one day I got a light bulb inside my head, and then I asked my body, what do you want? To sit quietly. It said, I want to move. I said, okay, here you got it. After almost like 40 years of my lifetime, for the first time I started dancing. I started moving. I got up from my meditation seat and I started moving whichever way the body wanted me to move. And to my luck, actually, Tripura Kashyap actually conducted a workshop in Coimbatore, and I went and enrolled in the workshop, and it was a lot of movement. And the moment movement started coming in, my block started disappearing. My adamency started decreasing. And I started being a little open. So the mind started contemplating. The mind started thinking how to move about, what to do, when to do, where to do. How do we go about the whole thing? What is happening? So all these questions started coming. That was the first time I started contemplating. Then after that, I started running marathons. So body movement, marathons. I was an athlete from childhood, so body was very good. I used to depend on my body. After some time, when I ran a marathon, my knee actually gave me a problem. I went to the doctors. Doctors told me you can't give much pressure to the knee because it can only be maintained. Otherwise, you will need a major operation. So that was the time which I really went down. The grief really struck me over there. And the things what I had was dance and movement, and that's what I was depending on, contemplation. And suddenly the whole world it was upside down. The moment I started moving, something used to happen, and my memory used to fail me actually if I start jogging or if I start dancing. Then what happened was I stopped doing exercises, I stopped running, I stopped dancing, and I was still trying to meditate. So there was no movement. So one day, one fine morning, what happened was my sensei sent me a gift. She sent me a gift. When I opened the gift, it was a mandala. It was a picture. I didn't know it was a mandala. So I called her up immediately and I asked her, what is this? So she told me that it's a mandala. That's all she told me. But then she drew something which was very, very, I was very curious about it. Then I started drawing. When I started drawing, this was how the chaos was. The chaos was like the middle one which I drew was basically for relationships of mine, which was actually going here and there. And on the left hand side, it was how my body was paining and how much anger I had. And on the right hand side down, it is like if I get somebody, I could literally kill, because I was sitting with so much of anger and so much of pain inside. So I started expressing using art. And luckily, the ones which are in the circles, they started calling it. I heard that they have a name for it, and they call it mandala because it is in circles. So then I started reflecting on the whole thing, saying that what is this happening to me? Why am I drawing these circles? Like I saw her and I started replicating it. Is that why it is happening? But it's happening in a tremendous pace, and mandala had become a practice for me. I practice 24/7. Any time when I'm free, I just go and sit and draw. So it was like 6-7 mandalas a day. I was mostly free because I was not doing anything, because so angry and so stubborn. Then over a period of time, my consciousness started getting clear. It started getting purified. Then I started learning how to look at each thought of mine. So it's like the mandala on the left hand side. All those thoughts which are in the black and white are there, and I learned how to pick up that one single thought, one single movement inside me, and then I started plotting it, and like the tree, I started looking at the connections of that thought. Where is this coming from? What is happening? Where is it heading to? Why is that happening? And every time it was one thought at a time. So the consciousness started clearing up, and this was what happened. The moment I found the path, the moment I understood the structure between what is happening in my mind and in my consciousness, this was the effect of it. I started drawing mandalas. So many mandalas came out of me. So many came out of so many different types of mandalas. The first one, which is on the left hand side top, it was the mandala which I drew when I heard a Rumi poem. The next one was when I started finding an energy, that go-getter energy inside me. That is what I found. So the bottom one was really this big actually. It was a big chart. I started finding that I could stick on to one job for a long period of time. It was patience developing inside me. So each mandala had a story. Each mandala had, it was creating an energy inside me, and that energy was creating an energy again inside me. So I started finding that flywheel inside me. Flywheel is something which is used in the sewing machines and in the trains, where the energy is stored in that wheel, and the energy which is stored in that wheel is actually double than that of its rotation speed. So it's a mechanical device which stores energy, and it stores double the energy. And what happened when I got this energy and when I started identifying how to contemplate, where to contemplate, when to contemplate, which thought is going where, the first thing that happened was my adamancy changed into willpower. It started giving me a very, very good power from inside to go and get my goals happen, personal goals happen. The tricky person inside me who used to play tricks to get things done, it started changing into creativity. I no longer started playing tricks actually, not consciously. So the unconsciously, whatever that comes up, it starts playing, it starts coming out as creativity. It started drawing. I started drawing. I started finding different ways to draw, different ways to plot. I found that I had become very stable because I had understood my own fears. I know where to venture and where not to venture, and I know where I was frightened. I know that there is a sensation from inside the body, still I can go past it or stay within it. That's my choice. So I started understanding my choice. I started trusting people. I started accepting me as me. The entire chaos inside my mind, it changed into a structure. It changed into an understanding. The pain, from the pain I started getting relief, I started getting relaxation. All my inaction, where before mandalas I used to sleep for something like 16 hours a day. Now actually I work for almost like 18 to 19 hours a day, and rest of the time, that's all I need to sleep because I'm very peaceful inside. So, and my active imagination, that was the biggest part. When I start imagining, the imagination continues for a long time, like exactly the way I am dreaming. The dream doesn't stop till you wake up. It keeps continuing till the point it has to continue. So same way my active imagination keeps continuing. If I want to sit and start imagination, it keeps continuing. One thought after another thought after another thought, naturally, innately it starts coming up. So I started getting an awareness about relationship and how each element starts working inside and each element starts working outside. So that was a big revelation for me, because I saw a big connect between both. Orientation from negative, it moved on to positive. then from anything what I do, any goal which I pick up, I started doing it with passion. So the achievement was like, it was very, I never thought about achievement. I just thought about the process and continued the process. So my emotions, I had become very vulnerable so that I can sit and relate with people. I started finding my own flywheel. Flywheel is this, and I am using the word flywheel in the term of using the emotional energy and the psychic energy. Yeah. Mandala actually means, it can be divided into two, Manda and La. Manda means a container. La means aura. So Mandala means a container that contains the aura. That's what it is. So that's what I started drawing. The mandalas are the ones which I started drawing on the paper. Just like we have a signature. A signature is not the person. A map is not the territory. Same way, the mandala which I have drawn on the paper is not the mandala. It's a signature of the aura. So the mandala is the person who draw. Mandala is the aura of the person of which it has been put forward. Just like what I danced earlier, I used to dance and identify. This time I was drawing and identify. So mandala on a paper is a gross form of your subtle energy. So these are the things which are, when I consolidate, these are the things which comes up for me. What we focus on expands and enhances. It is not just the experience, but it is the reflection also that you do upon it that actually helps you for a spiritual development within. Once we understand the reflective distance is the variance between whatever that has been drawn and whatever that is that you interpret. The difference between the reflection and actually what is there on the paper, once we understand it, we can add anything, delete anything, modify it, change it in our elemental memory. It can be done both in the subtle as well as in the gross. This complete thing brings in an order into the consciousness. Once the order has come into the consciousness, achieving any goal is very easy. It's a cakewalk. So I request all of you to actually draw the mandala. The best part of mandala, the best part of an art form of the mandala is you can either draw it or meditate upon it. You get the same result. If you are meditating upon it, you will have to meditate for a longer period of time. If you are drawing it, you are having the experience as well as the reflection, as well as the meditation tool. So I request all of you to actually draw or meditate and experience mandalas so that we can evolve collectively together.
Yes, it is mind-blowing. So Jayashree had shared her experience about mandala. Mandala for me is about acceptance that I am perfect as I am now. When this acceptance occurs, there is a natural flow into evolving and expansion. There is something freeing when drawing mandalas. Yes. It's very wonderful, right? To see different people's journey and experiences and transformations, so many things, how they've connected with their body, with the mind, with the subtle, with the gross, everything. But there is a lot more also. There is the silence also which is happening inside me after all these things. I would really like to thank the divinity which has come through the form of the mandala, which has been given from the source, the Adi Guru, through different masters, through different people, through different energies, which has touched us, which is transforming us still transforming. Lot of things are going on. Saying this gives me a lot of gratitude for that energy source, for that one source which have clearly had the grace to come and be with us. And I would really like to thank each and every one of you for coming into the satsang, very authentically talk about your mandalas, which has been wonderful actually. I could not find so many words to put up in this actually. So yeah, thank you so much. It's been like a beautiful mandala in this evening. Now I'm handing it over to Anvi.
Thank you, Shivaka. Thank you, everybody. It has been a beautiful evening. Seeing everybody share their stories, share their experiences, and how mandalas found them and how they found mandalas. It was extremely beautiful, and it is so nice to see how all of us have come together and connected through mandalas, and we are all evolving and expanding through mandalas. For me personally, I drew my first mandala when I was 10 years old, without even having the knowledge that it's a mandala. I used to sit in class when my teacher was teaching. I would just draw something on paper, and I used to draw it in circles and repeat patterns. For some reason, I connected with it so much. And after so many years, 2 years ago, when I understood what a mandala means, that's when I realized that I was doing nothing but giving a visual representation to the knowledge that was being passed on to me by my teacher. Mandalas have always been a very, very special part of me, and it will always continue to be. Thank you so much for all of you for joining today, sharing your stories, experiences. And we will continue the mandala journey. And the Mandala Festival starts today, will go on for a month. And I invite all of you to be a part of the upcoming events. The events are mentioned on the website. You can join the event, you can join every event henceforth. And thank you, Shivaka, for beautifully holding the space today. And thanks to the entire Mandala Festival team for making it possible. And thank you, everybody, for being a part of it. We can wind up. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Thank you, everybody.